Welcome to Flow. Let's get started. Today we'll be starting in a child's pose position. Bring your big toes together, open your knees a little bit wider, and then walk your hands out long in front of you to come into your first child's pose. Send your hips back down towards your heels and reach your fingertips far away from your hips. Start to bring your focus to the movement of your breath. Expand your rib cage and your back with every inhale. And with every exhale, feel a sense of deflating through the belly, through the torso. Find a little traction with your spine by pulling your fingertips away from your hips. We transition into a puppy dog pose. Bring your gaze forward and then inch your fingertips away from your heels. Now, option to bring your chest down to the ground and lift your hips up. So this is a really nice chest opener. Your gaze can be towards your hands or maybe your forehead is down on the mat. Your palms can be down as well. It doesn't have to be the tips of your fingers. And now slowly transition yourself to an all fours. And we move through cat-cow with breath. Just to get some movement through the spine. Every inhale, drop your belly, lift your gaze. And on your exhale, cat spine, find this nice, juicy contraction. I think cat-cow is a really wonderful way to warm up before anything physical, or honestly, anything that you have to do, even if it's just a singing audition or a reading audition. It's just a nice way to get into your body. It's a great way to move anything around in your spine that's feeling locked. Let's take one more set with breath here, and we'll come back to a neutral tabletop position. We're going to get into the wrists a little bit here, so keep your fingers pointed away from you, and then start to draw some circles through the hips. Start to feel this little opening through your wrists, through your forearms, and then after you take 3 or 4 circles in one direction, go ahead and take that in the opposite direction. So this nice opening through the forearms, through the wrists. Take another variation, a little more intense. Flip your palms around so your fingers are pointed towards your knees and start to take these circles again. Now, if this is too intense for your wrists or your forearms, you can find a little bit of a bend with your elbows, and that might make this a little easier. Take 3 or 4 circles in one direction and then find that the other way. And then when you're done, flip your fingers back around, step your feet back, move into a high plank position, pause and breathe here. Shoulders are stacked right on top of your wrist, just an opportunity to fire up a little bit more through your core. Option to lower your knees or bring your body all the way flat. So we're going to do a little bit of shoulder mobility here. Keep your forehead on the ground, palms face each other, arms extend long. Now only lift your hands. Reach your arms out to the side, palms face down all the way back towards your hips. And then bring your hands back long in front of you and lower your pinkies. We do this 5 times. Keep your head down, keep your feet down. It's just about finding this range of motion, this movement through your shoulders. Think of each set as being very, very intentional. Notice where your palms rotate and how your shoulders work to lift your arms and then move your arms as well. This is a great exercise if you're feeling stiff in your shoulders, whether that's in class or whether that's at the gym. And after your 5th go around, bring your hands down, bring your hands underneath your shoulders and move to a downward facing dog. In your first downward facing dog, you can maybe pedal through the feet. Find a little bit of movement through your body if that feels good. And then come into a neutral downward facing dog. Energize your heels towards the ground. Spread your fingers wide. Breathe into this space. Now start to widen your feet. Bring your feet a little bit further apart so we're in a wide-legged forward fold with the downward facing dog. This will get a little bit deeper into the chest. Think of pressing your chest towards your toes. And now start to walk your hands back towards your feet so you're in a wide-legged forward fold. And you can take a little moment here if you want to bend through your knees, maybe find a little bend and straighten through your knees or a little sway from side to side through the upper torso. We're going to make this stretch a little more active, moving into a flat back position. Bend your knees And then extend your arms long in front of you, find your flat back, and then release, forward fold. We take this 5 times total. Think of moving with breath. Find that activation. We're in a deep squat with the legs, and then we're finding activation all through the spine, all through the muscles of the back. Think of a nice flat back. Reach your fingertips forward, send your hips back. 5 times total. And after your last time, start to walk your feet close to each other. We move into a ragdoll pose. Feet are about hips width distance. Find a bend through your knees. And then slowly, slowly start to roll yourself up to stand. Your head will be the last thing to arrive. And once you get there, maybe take some movement through the shoulders, through the head, the neck, anything you need, small little movements. We're going to take what we took on our belly standing up. So that exercise to find more range of motion through the shoulders. Very intentionally with your palms facing forward, reach your arms to the side all the way up, palms face each other. And then find resistance as you press down. We're taking this 10 times total. It's really easy to kind of just move through an exercise like this, but I really want you to be intentional about what's happening with your joint, especially your shoulder joint, the musculature in your back. Think and notice how your muscles and joints are working to lift your arms and lower your arms. Notice that point where you have to turn your palms towards each other. Knit your rib cage together. Keep your core activated throughout this exercise. Maybe find a soft little bend with your knees. Try not to lock through the joint. Like you're moving through molasses, find resistance. Find that strength through your side bodies, through your shoulder. And then after your 10th time, keep your arms out to the side, flex your palms so your fingers are up. Nice little forearm and wrist stretch we revisit here. And then start to bring your wrists behind you for a little back bend chest opener. Pull your sternum, your heart up towards the ceiling. And then release. Reach your arms up, look up on your exhale, forward fold, and walk yourself out to a downward facing dog. Lift your right leg high, and then step your right foot between your hands. Swivel your back heel down to the ground, a short lunge stance, warrior one. Lift your arms up and press your palms together so we can start to feel that activation again through the back, through the shoulders. Actively press the palms together. Breathe into the space. And now release your hands and interlace them at the base of your spine. Punch the fist down, lift the heart open, and on your exhale, humble warrior. Release your body inside of your front right leg. Think of the crown of the head going closer towards the ground. Breathe into the space that you can create between your shoulder blades. Use your fist to lead you as you come back up from here. Straighten both legs and shorten your stance. We're coming into a nice hamstring opener. 2 options. Grab elbow to elbow as I'm demoing, or you can find a reverse prayer behind your back. Lift your chest up, lean back, and then on your exhale, flat spine over your front right leg. Pull and traction your right hip back while the crown of your head grows away from your body. Option to keep the hands behind your back as you release yourself down into a full pyramid pose. You can also just release your hands down by your side. If you have a bend through your front right knee, that's no big deal. This is a deep hamstring opener. Just breathe into the stretch. And then we slowly transition, move back to a plank position. Hold and breathe this plank. And press your hips up, downward facing dog. We move to the opposite side. Inhale, lift your left leg high. And now step your left foot between your hands. Shorten your stance a little bit. And then bring your whole right foot down to the ground. Inhale, lift the arms up, warrior one. Press your palms together and find this activation through the back. Pull the shoulders away from your ears so you've got a little bit of space there. Feel your feet rooted and planted down into your mat. And now release your hands. Interlace your hands at the base of your spine. If you want to switch the grip, you can find that. Lift your chest up, and then on your exhale, release your torso, your body, inside of your front left leg. Notice if your jaw is holding on to some tension here. Maybe find a little bit of movement into that. Every exhale, let your torso be heavier. Let your fist lead you as you come up to stand. Straighten both legs and shorten your stance. Find your variation of your arms behind your back, either elbow to elbow or a reverse prayer. Tip yourself up and back, lift your heart, and then flat spine, release yourself over. Find this nice flat spine. Think of pulling the left hip back from the crown of your head. And on your exhale, release your torso over your front left leg. Option to keep the arms behind your back, or option to release the hands to frame your foot. If you've got to bend through that front left leg, no big deal. Breathe into this nice hamstring stretch. And then come out of this. We meet in a high plank position. Bring your hands under your shoulders. And then lift your hips up, downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, we're coming all the way down to your belly. You can lower your knees and bring yourself all the way down. First posture is a Sphinx pose. Bring your forearms flat, spread your fingers wide, and then lift your chest up. Now in this Sphinx pose, think of tractioning your elbows back towards your heels. So it's almost like your sternum is driving forward while your feet are pulling backwards. Press down through your whole forearm, through your whole palm. Maybe you press down a little bit more to lift up a little bit more. Take a full big breath in. And on your exhale, release, let it go. Just take a few moments here. Extend your arms long in front of you, and we're coming into a back strengthening progression. First, just lift your arms. Your forehead is still to the mat. Next, peel your forehead and your ribs up. And then last, lift your legs. Super person pose. Pull your fingers away from your back toes. Feel length instead of height. Get long. Feel the activation through your back, through your core. Take one more big breath in. On your exhale, let it go. Take a moment for rest. Just release your body down. And now tee your arms out to the side, and we do something similar. Lift the arms and then lift the chest, airplane pose. Option here to lift the legs as well. Feel the fingers pull from side to side, but feel the chest pull forward. Breathe in. And then exhale, release yourself all the way down. And then our last posture, interlace your fingers at the base of your spine, punch your fist back, and then lift your chest up. Option to stay with the feet down, or option to lift your toes up off the mat. As with the other exercises, think length before height. We don't need to crunch into the spine. We want to think of elongating through the entire body, through the ankles, through the heart space. And now release this down. Keep your legs down, tee your arms out to the side. We're moving into a variation of a twist. Bend your left elbow, bend your left knee, and then take your left foot so it comes back behind you, moving into this belly down twist. A little different variation of a twist. We feel a deeper opening through the front of your right shoulder. Breathe into that space. And now slowly release. We take this the opposite way. Stretch your left hand out, bend your right knee, bend your right elbow, and then bring your right toes behind you. Feel this nice opening through the front of your left shoulder. Find full big breaths in and out as we move into more of a restorative space. And then slowly bring yourself back. From here, flip onto your back, however you need to get there. Bring the bottoms of your feet together. Let your knees open wide. You can bring one hand to the belly, one hand to the heart, or if you'd like, you can goalpost your arms out to the side. Our final posture here, just an opportunity to come back to your breath. Feel the movement through your belly, through your lungs, your rib cage. And with every exhale, release some tension that you're still holding on to. Let your body sink into the mat. Thank you for joining us today. And that's your flow.